I had planned to do an episode on the Fermi paradox today, but I just couldn't resist making this one instead. So the Fermi paradox says there has theoretically been plenty of time for extraterrestrial civilizations to have reached and contacted Earth, but none of them are around. And it applies to time travel too, perhaps even more strongly. After all, if time travel is possible, we have a literally infinite amount of time to hear from the future. So why haven't we met any time-traveling tourists visiting us from the future? Don't worry, I got an answer for this one, and it's gonna be real fun. There's already plenty of scientific and philosophical objections to time travel. On the scientific side, many physicists doubt it's possible for us. And while current theoretical models don't rule out the possibility of time travel, let's just say our current best bet is to use a frickin' wormhole. While physicists search for mathematical proof, philosophers are way ahead of them. There's plenty of causality paradoxes which render time travel implausible by logical and physical orthodoxy. Leave it to philosophers to trump even the scientists in terms of sheer talent in ruining our dreams. But let's just say that hypothetically we discovered time travel was possible and very achievable. And let's just say that causality paradoxes won't bother us in any way.
Great, let's hop in the DeLorean and go back in time, right?
Wrong! So very wrong. In fact, if you tried to travel through time, you'd almost certainly die. Man, I love this segment so much. See this? That's right, Earth doesn't just stay in the same place. It's currently orbiting around the sun, so if you teleported back in time by an hour, you'd be stuck in empty space 27,000 miles from Earth. Then, you'd fall for hours into Earth as gravity slowly gets stronger. And for those of you who for some reason want a recap of what happens to your body in space, here's some information you never really asked for. Got a guess of what will kill you first? Here's the answer. The good thing is, you wouldn't instantly explode due to low pressure because your skin's really stretchy. What would really happen is, your lungs would rupture from air rushing out. Since water can't be liquid in space, it would all boil off, shriveling your eyes. Oxygen and carbon dioxide would switch places in your bloodstream, leaving you to asphyxiate to death as your face turns blue. To add injury to more injury, the lack of ozone protecting your skin means you'll get blasted by UV in the cold vacuum. So you'll both burn and freeze at the same time.
So let's just only time travel in 1-year intervals. That will work, right?
Wrong! Earth's orbit varies, so even if you somehow calculated the exact time, you'd still miss Earth by several gazillion miles. Due to fluctuations in the Earth's orbit, you'd have to wait about 100,000 years to get to the same position relative to the Sun.
But let's say we did it in 100,000 year intervals. What will kill us now?
Yeah, I'm not so sure why you hope to land on Earth because something like this might happen.
Huh?
See, just because Earth in general is in the same position doesn't mean you'll be on the same place on Earth when you come here. But not only would that happen, in reality, if the atoms of your body and the atoms of a wall or even the air were to be laid on top of each other, there's a high chance some of your atoms will get so close to each other, their nuclei will fuse. And you can imagine what turning into a nuclear fusion reaction will be like. In order to prevent that, you'd actually prefer to land in space and hope none of the free-floating atoms collide with yours. So now you've got your space shuttle and you're ready to do this. You've protected your vehicle from exploding from a sudden change in pressure and make sure you can survive in space. You've plotted the exact course to arrive back on Earth safely. So you step into your time machine spacecraft and set whatever time it is that will make you think you're safe. But gotcha! It doesn't matter! The Sun itself orbits the Milky Way galaxy once every 240 million years or so. That means if we judged position relative to the center of the Milky Way, the last time we were anywhere near safe to time travel, dinosaurs were still around. A galactic year before that, you'd see a bunch of creepy crawlies in the ocean and a barely breathable atmosphere. And before that, there's literally just sponges. And not only that, the galaxy is moving through space, and space itself is—
Enough! This is a philosophy channel, isn't it? Let's talk metaphysics or something. Let's say we got around this whole debacle by simply reversing time and stopping whenever we want.
Oh, okay. This is a 4D model of the universe projected onto 2 dimensions.
Looks like the layers of an onion.
Shh! As you can see, the radius of the circle represents time passed, while the surface of the circle represents points in space. At the center, where no time has passed, the volume of space is 0. This is also why there's no center of the universe, because there's no center on the surface of a sphere. As time progresses, our path curves because we move in space along with moving in time. This is why if we simply traveled back in time, we'd land in empty space.
But if instead we reverse the flow of time, we travel along with Earth back in space as well. See, time travel is not completely deadly then. So what's the catch?
Well, if you know anything about geometry, you'll realize that just because you reverse the direction of one dimension, it doesn't necessarily change the direction of any other dimension. So if the x-axis here is time, you'll still be traveling upward in space. So if you just reverse nothing but time, instead of this, you'll get this. I don't even know how that one would work.
So let's say we built a wall, I don't know, perpendicularly across time-space, so we bounce backward perfectly. Now would it work?
Nope. See this? It's basic physics. Newton's first law states an object in motion stays in motion. Once you reverse time, there's no way to stop it. So basically we'll be Benjamin Buttoning all the way to the big crunch.
Unless you build another wall in the past to bring us forward again. Then we'll bounce back and forth in time and be immortal.
Well, remember that literally everything, including your memory and consciousness, is being reversed. The second you reverse time, you'd instantly forget what you'd just done because it hasn't happened yet anymore. It's in the future now. Despite traveling backward in time, all these apes still face forward because they still think they're moving forward in time. Hell, we could be moving backward in time right now, and we'd never know it.
God fucking damn it! I give up. All my dreams of having one last meal at Suplantation are crushed.
Hey now, just look at the silver lining. Time travel may be a death sentence to all of us, but at least we'll never realize that a person pushed that big red button. No, not that one. That one. At least we'll never realize anyone pushed it because that was all in the future past thing. Nothing makes sense anymore. But don't worry, the alternative would be the universal heat death far in the future. At least there might be an antimatter universe or something on the other side of the Big Bang. But that's for another episode. Yes, I know, there's more science in this video than real regular philosophy. But so what? Philosophy pokes its nose into everything, even when it's not wanted, which is basically all the time. I'm sure I got some of the science wrong, so correct me in the comments below. And check out my Bandcamp and download my soundtrack. It's free, so if you don't download it, basically you're telling me I'm less than worthless.
I'm and I approve this message.